My dad is still recovering from a brain injury, which sometimes affects his memory. He remembers everything about the car, everything except where the key is.
See, I'm trying to think, where did I leave it?
In the garage on Otter Lane.
That where it is?
That's where it is now, but maybe we should move the car up here, closer to us.
Sure.
Even before his brain injury and stroke and seizures, he had trouble remembering where the key was. All right.
You have to stand up.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That was good.
He would talk for hours about it. Maybe the key to his car is on one of these. He would go to all these car shows where he would take it and, you know, open up the hood, open up the trunk with all his spare parts and stuff, and he would just talk about it for hours and hours. This is the original. This is what this was before he restored it. Before he dragged it out of a junkyard. And then spent the next 15 years visiting junkyards, finding parts for it. It's a little note I wrote him. He saved it.
Hey, Pete. You know where you're going?
No.
You're going over to the garage. You're going to go see the car. Katie was kind enough to have the car moved down here so you could go over there every once in a while.
He was very articulate and very good storyteller and had a million stories. Anytime I was with him, he would see someone he would know and they, you know, start talking, and then I'd be like, Dad, we're like late. We got to go. You know, that was his thing, telling stories, and now he can't tell stories, so. But so many times, like this car, he'd like, I say, hi, Dad, what'd you do today? And he started to tell me about his car, and like, I'm sure my eyes just glazed over, like, Dad, I don't want to hear about this car anymore. But now I wish I would have paid more attention. Not just about the car, but everything, you know. So many people say, you should record these stories that he's telling. I'm like, why would I do that? Then I'd have to listen to them again. But as soon as they're gone, then you're like, oh yeah, I should have done that. I totally should have done that. There we go. Look what I found.
I got a smile.
We looked high and low for that key.
Okay.
It was right there the whole time. Now it's here. You can come visit it anytime.
Okay.
I think that he really is feeling the weight of, like, he's not going to be able to talk about it anymore. Which makes me regret even more that I didn't pay any attention so that I could talk about it. But I don't know that much about it. Except how much he loves it. All my life, my dad has had a workshop with a workbench and lots of shelves and all these little things. And some of the little things were like things that belonged to his dad and his grandfather. And a lot of it was like just stuff he picked up off the sidewalk on junk day. He's like, look at this cool little thing. So he was always saying that, look at this cool little thing. And so I think I picked up that habit. And so my life was full of just shelves full of these cool little things. Until I got married and had kids. And then my husband suggested we might get rid of some of the stuff just to make room for the kids. So I opened up a little shop where I can have all my stuff. My dad was really happy when I said I was opening up the shop. He helped me a lot. He put up all the shelves in it. He would come up at least once a week and buy something like a postcard or an old magazine. My shop is where he would always come. And then he would like look at, what's this? Oh, look at this. He would love something like this. So sometimes I know I don't need anything like this, but I pick them up at estate sales or whatever because my dad would like it. I would try and get him out to the house to do, a project, thinking that he needed something to do and I needed something done. But at the house, he would not do it unless my husband was there, because he wanted to teach my husband, how to do it, because he'd say, I'm not always going to be here. Whatever. But here, I was like, Dad, I need to put up these shelves. And he would know. One of the last things he did before his brain injury was to come up here and put up these shelves. So I guess when I think about it now, I'm really glad I opened the shop 7 years ago. It did not involve my husband. I think he was happy to have something to work with. I was happy to have him work with me on something where it was just me and him. He's 85. I want him to live forever, but in this state, how to help him have a full, meaningful life in his own home, with his own things, living with his wife. But, it takes a staff of 10 so far, and I'm one of those staff people, which means that I'm not at home looking at the grades and taking the kids to soccer practice. So I'm helping my dad have his life, but my kids are not having their full life. Somewhere underneath that, I'm not having my full life. But it's hard. It's hard to weigh, like, maybe this will only be a couple of years. 3 years later, it could go on for a long time. Isn't this what everybody wants? A perfect ending is that tonight my mom and dad will go to sleep and they won't wake up. They won't suffer anymore. My dad won't worry about the car. He won't feel sad about not being able to talk about the car. And then the car will sit somewhere in storage. It probably will sit there until I die. Because I can't even imagine getting rid of it. If there was a way for me to bury him in it, I would. Can't imagine him without his car. Can't imagine his car without him.